This is a new series that I'm starting. It's still about my ideal Thomas the Tank Engine characters, except this time I go a little bit more into their backstory. Don't worry, I'm still continuing the other series as well. Of course, let's start with number one, or before he was number one, number 105. Thomas was built by the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway. He is an E2X. He was the first of the second batch of the class, hence his number. The reason I chose number 105 was because it was the first of the E2Xs. In my headcanon, then Thomas was given a slightly different firebox, a wider cap with a slightly different design, and front splashers. Thomas had worked for the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway all the way into the days of the Southern Railway. His workload pretty much stayed the same. He never pulled a train once, and he was content to being a station pilot at Brighton. He worked this role all the way up until 1923. So Derek Topham Hatt was looking for a new station pilot and engine to run the branch line to Farquhar. The original engine, an 040 coffee pot named Glenn, was retired from service and purchased privately by the Letmy Company at Farquhar. So Topham originally wanted a LNER J50, but while at Brighton looking around to see if there were any other engines he would actually like, he saw Thomas shunting in the yard nearby. So Topham looked over Thomas and his stats and decided to give the E2 a chance to pull a train, potentially. Thomas was purchased by the North Western Railway in 1923. When he arrived, he was repainted in the NWR blue. Since the original at number 1, Glenn, was retired, Thomas took that position, literally. He was painted blue like most of the other engines on the railway with red lining. As previously stated, he was given number 1 in big, bold yellow lining. Thomas worked as a station pilot for about a month. During his time there, he tried to take a line of trucks down to Meron, which ended poorly. When he returned to Knapford, a few days later, he tried pulling a train. He forgot the coaches, and had to return. Luckily, he was able to get the train to Wellsworth on time before another engine took it over. The story pretty much goes the same way. Thomas was at Elsbridge with Edward with a supply train. Sir Topham was revitalizing the branch line of Farquhar to run trains, hence there with bigger engines, like Thomas's standard. While there, James, which was running a supply train to Elsbridge to restock on stuff, went a little too fast. His regulator got jammed open, and he was coasting down, and he was going down a slight gradient. He was coming from the west, and if you're coming from that direction, trains have to slow down a little. His driver was very sleepy that morning and wasn't paying attention. He locked up James's brakes, which were made of wood, which caught fire, just like in all incarnations. James ran through Elsbridge and derailed on a tight bend into a cattle field. Thomas immediately rushed to grab the breakdown train, which was there at the yard, the help of the construction, and the being in a moment's notice if an accident occurred, to be there to recover anything that would have gotten damaged. Thomas took the breakdown train to the cattle field and got James's trucks and James himself back on the rails. Thomas took James back to Elsbridge, where he would be put on a train heading out to Crovan's Gate, where he would be repaired. Thomas, due to his bravery, and it was already planned anyway, he would be given the branch line of Farquhar, which would be also named Thomas's branch line. Thomas worked the line ever since, and the story is pretty much the same as the story is pretty much the same from both the model and book series. Race. Ran to a station house. House got in trouble with the police. The whole shebang. It wouldn't be a Northwestern Railway without a almost completely intact Thomas character after he got his branch line. For performance and stats, the engine's name is Thomas. His original number on the LBSCR was the number 105. His number now is the number 1. He was built sometime in June of 1915. His designer is Lawson B. Billington. The builder of works that built him was Brighton Railway Works. I'll just get rid of this as it's not accurate. His original railway, they were the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway, later the Southern Railway with the Railway Act of 1922. His current and modern railway is the Northwestern Railway. Like I said earlier, he is a London, Brighton and South Coast Railway E2. He is an 060 saddle tank with a max speed of 70 miles an hour or 112 kilometers per hour. For siblings, we have number 100, Timothy, 101, Tom, 102, Roger, 103, Reginald, 104, William, 106, Charlie, 107, Charles, 108, Billy, and 109, Tim. There were only 10 E2s that were ever built, and Thomas was the 6th. Hence his number 105, because it all started with number 100, Timothy. This Timothy is like a standard version of Timothy, although his story isn't quite the same. I'll go into side characters and sibling characters in a different series. But for right now, this is the story of Thomas the Tank Engine, the NWR's infamous number 1, the pride of the NWR, running what is argued to be the most important line on the entire railway. Thank you so much for getting this far in the video, and I hope to see you in the next installation. The next character also has an interesting backstory, so I really hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Bye.